Good morning, Kipsters. This is Science Class with Mr. Jennings. Glad we all tuned back in. Please keep sharing your videos, keep sharing your pictures, your messages, and posts with me. I love seeing them. Glad people are doing well. And just send me a text, email, share a post with me. So, this is lesson 10 about inheritance and traits. We've been learning so much about inheritance and traits. In our last lesson, we looked at those monsters and those deers and seeing which could be possible offspring of the parents. And today we're going to be doing some similar things. In this lesson, we're going to collect evidence for how traits are passed down from parents to children. So we kind of did that last lesson when we seen like the monsters, which of the offspring can be offspring of the parents, and looking at what traits can be passed down. Before we move on, we'll be looking at our big question in our vocabulary words. Our big question is, how do organisms get their traits? We already have this answer, kind of. We learned that organisms get their traits from their parents. The organisms get traits from their parents, and so we're going to be looking at our vocabulary words and seeing what else we can find out. So this is our scientific vocabulary. Organisms. Organisms are living things. Traits are characteristics. Variations are differences. Species is a similar group of organisms. Inherit is getting from your parents. Environment, what's around you. Genes or DNA, instructions for traits. Offspring are children. Reproduction is when parents make children. Family tree or pedigree chart is diagram showing a family. So this is what we're going to be focused on today is a family tree. We're not going to so much call it a pedigree chart, but it can be called a pedigree chart. This is a family tree. We're going to be learning a lot of information about family trees, and you might have an idea of um, your family tree, and you can send those in, and maybe we can see some of the traits that you found out about yourself. Generation is a group of offspring. Life cycle is birth, growth, reproduction, then death. And then we're not going to worry about these two. So, like I said, in this lesson, we're going to be focusing more on the family tree and how traits are passed down from your parents or your parents' parents, which are your grandmother, grandfathers, and their parents' parents, and so on and so forth. And that's how you look the way you look in while you have the traits that you have. So, warm up. Is it possible for offspring to inherit a trait that neither of its parents have? Is it possible for offspring to inherit a trait that neither of their parents have? No. All of the traits are passed down from your parents or your parents' parents or people in your family tree who have those same traits, those traits that make you who you are. You only can get traits from people like your mom and your dad, and then people that are in their family. Big question: how do organisms get their traits? We're still answering this question, even though we kind of got the answer. We're learning more specifics to figure out how that answer makes sense. In our last lesson, we seen these two parents that were monsters, these monster parents, and looked to see which of these offspring that these two parents can have. So we have parent one, which is the mom with the butterfly wings and green, and the dad, which is parent two, which is orange with the large horns. Looking at monster number one, monster one has spikes on its tail. Can monster one be an offspring of these two parents? No, because neither one of the parents have a spike on their tail. Number two, it can be an offspring on the parents. They can get the big horns from their dad, the green color from mom. So this can be a offspring. Number three, it has big horns from dad, butterfly wings from mom, and green from mom. It can be an offspring of the two. Number four has large horns, large butterfly wings, and orange. It can also be an offspring because it can get orange from dad, wings from mom, big horns from dad. Number five, green. Number five is green from mom, little horns from mom. So it can be an offspring. Number six, it has no horns, has no wings. So it really can't be a offspring because it doesn't have any horns, and both mom and dad have horns. Moving on to the deer. So we have a brown deer and a tan deer. A brown deer with no antlers, a tan deer with small antlers. Number one can be a offspring because it can be brown from mom and it can have small antlers from dad. Number two, it cannot be an offspring because it has big antlers. Number three, I want you to think. Do you think number three can be a offspring of the two parents? No, it can't be. Why? Why can't it be? If you're thinking, you should be noticing the head size. It has a small head size of mom and dad. Neither one of them have a small head size. Number four, do you think number four can be a offspring? Yeah, it has brown and tan, so it can be brown and tan from mom and dad. Mom can be brown while dad is tan, and those colors mix together to make that brown and tan offspring with those small antlers. Number five, number five can also be an offspring. It can be tan from dad, have small antlers from dad. Number six, can it be an offspring of mom and dad? No, it cannot be because it has a pink nose. So because it has that pink nose, neither mom nor the dad have a pink nose. So it can't be an offspring. So how were we able to determine which offspring were possible and which offspring were not? So when we looked at those pictures, what do we use to figure out if the offspring could be possible or not possible? We use their parents. So we use our parents to figure out the traits that the child or the offspring might have. The parents make us who we are. Where do the offspring get their traits from? When I say go, everybody's gonna say that answer. Get ready, go. Your parents. You get your the offspring get their traits from their parents. So, offspring, how do offspring inherit traits from their parents is what we're going to be talking about next. They inherit those things based on when your parents reproduce or have babies, then they pass along their DNA or their different traits through their DNA to make us who we are or make the offspring who they are. This is our first family tree. So we in this family tree on the left side we have mom side, on the right side we have dad side. So here we have mom side, on this side we have dad side. So we have mom, dad, and then you have your brother, and then me. Okay. So this tells us what we're going to kind of look like. So on the dad side, grandpa, grandma, and it made all the boys look exactly like grandpa. So all of the boys will also look like me. And so we didn't get the traits um, from mom. We look exactly like our dad. Same thing for mom. Mom doesn't look anything like dad. Mom and mom's sister look alike. And then, sorry, this should say sister. I'll fix that later. So this tells you like what your sister might look like the um, because of the traits that were passed down from mom and dad. So our grandma looks like our mom and our aunt, and our sister looks exactly like our mom, aunt, and grandma. We look like our dad, our two uncles, and our grandfather because those traits passed down from grandfather to dad to us. Sorry. So, family trees is a diagram or model that shows how people in a family are related. So, you'll have like your grandmother and grandfather. Oh, sorry, first you'll start with you, then you'll have your mom, your dad, then you'll have your dad's mom and dad, and then you have your mom, and you have your mom's mom and dad, which is your grandmother and your grandfather. And you can go on and on. So you can have your great grandma, your great grandfather, and their great great grandmother and great great grandfather. So you might ask your grandmother, what's her mom's name, and then ask her what's her grandmother's name, and you can go far, far, far back and learn different people in your family and how big your family is. So I can like your mom's sister, and then you have your like cousins, or you can if you have like a niece or nephew from your sister or your brother, then you can see like that your niece and nephews when you have like the whole family tree all out. And so we'll practice making those soon enough. But there's just a small idea of what it can look like. Generation. So we have different generations. So your grandmother and grandfather, they're like the first generation, and your mom and dad, sorry, like the second generation. You're like the third generation, and then it'll go from there. Then your kids will be the fourth generation, and then so on and so forth. Where there's different generations of your family. Each generation in the family tree is a different row in the chart. So we have like generation one, which would be like your grandmother, grandfather, and then your mom and your dad and their brothers and sisters, and then you and your sister, or like if uh, other people in your family. So where you can see that family tree coming out. You can also make family trees and pedigree charts for animals too. So the animals, so think about Lion King. Simba had his dad, which was Mufasa, and then Mufasa's brother was Scar. So if you had like those different if you had those answers to know people in their family, you can make family trees for different animals as well. So, similarities versus variations. Similarities are things that are common or the same. Variations are traits that are different. So, similarities are the same, variations are different. So, when you have similarities, that means that things are the same. When you have variations, those things are different. So, right here, when we see this picture, we can see different similarities and different variations. So, like I can see like a rectangular shape, but I also see different variations of rectangles. I see an oval, I see a circle, which is a variation. We can see that some of them have the same circle head, and that is something that's similar. So these are the eggies. Meet the eggies. So this is mom, this is dad, and these are the eggies. We're going to be using these eggies to make a fruit fly family. And so when we look at them, we're going to think about what we would have made in class if we were there, and then see how we can see the offspring of different things. So we have some fruit flies here. This is family one. We have parent one, parent two, mom and dad. We're going to be thinking, is this are these offspring the right offspring of the parents? So they should have similarities of the parents. There should be no variations because things should all come from the mom and dad. So mom and dad, they have two eyes. Mom has some long wings going down. Dad has some shorter wings going to the side. You can see like a yellow color. You see mom has like a red stripe. Dad has like a black stripe. And we're going to see if this model number one, is the right one. So I can all first look at offspring one. Do we see mom and dad have any of those wings that go straight out like that? No. So can this be an offspring from mom and dad? No. So I already know that this model is incorrect. So all this one can be offspring two can be a child. Offspring three cannot. Offspring four can, and offspring five cannot because it has those white eyes, and either mom or dad has those things. So is this model correct? No, because the offspring does not have the similar traits that mom and dad have. So model one is incorrect, and you'll need this for your exit ticket. Model one is incorrect. Let's look at model two. I'm looking at model two. We have mom. She has those wings that kind of are going out. Dad has those longer wings with some white eyes. So let's look at model one, offspring one. Can offspring one be a offspring of the two parents? No, because we see those black little stripes and those black like legs, those six legs. They're black. Mom doesn't have black legs, and dad doesn't have black legs. So I already looking at offspring one. I know it is incorrect. Offspring two is incorrect as well because it has those same black stripes and black legs. So that's also incorrect. Matter of fact, all of these have black legs. So all of these would be incorrect. So model two is also an incorrect way to show how the parents have their offspring. So our last model in model three, which we know must be right. Model three must be right because model one and model two was wrong. Looking at mom, she has those wings that kind of go out. Dad is black, has longer wings, his black legs. Mom has black legs. They both have Like mom has some reddish eyes, dad has some brownish eyes. So offspring one, can it be a offspring of the two parents? Yeah, it has those black legs. Get black from dad. Can get those wings from mom. Can only have four legs from mom. Offspring two. Offspring two can get these wings from dad, the legs from dad, the color from dad, the eyes from dad. So this can be a offspring. Offspring three, it can be black, has this yellow and black body from mom, has the eyes from dad, wings from mom, black legs from mom. Offspring four can get eyes from mom, legs from dad, wings from dad. And offspring five can have body from mom, eyes from dad, legs from dad. So model three is the correct model that shows how parents and their offspring, or the offspring, get their traits from their parents. So um, we're not going to do this part because we're not in school, but we were going to look at these models with some gummy bears and see what we could find, and then be able to eat those gummy bears. You can still try at home by getting gummy bears and showing what type of children they will have if you have different colored gummy bears. So you can show like a red and yellow and put two together, or see how the children can be made. So, in this lesson, we learned how traits are passed down from mom and dad, and offspring need the different traits that mom and dad have. And you cannot get you cannot get traits that are not, that your mom or dad does not have. So your mom and dad has to have a trait for it to be true. So catch you guys next time. Can't wait to see who gets their exit tickets 100%, so I can shout them out on the wall. Catch you later.